Alright, welcome back to T90 Titans League 2. And so we've got a game that's not a nomad game. We've got our players starting in arena here, and we've got running in the green trunks on the Bengalis up against Vinchester on the poles, the purple trunks. So it should be a pretty easy castle age for our players here with this start. So our Bengali player actually has more resistant to conversion elephants to be useful on a map like this, which is quite turtly. Improved monks themselves. And a unique cavalry archer. Vinchester. There's the poles. Well, he's got an improved mill building. Improved cavalry line units. So I'm actually not so familiar with either of these civs, to be honest. So my knowledge is pretty limited, more towards the original Age of Kings and Conquerors civs.
Proszę wać pana.
So Vinchester attempting to scout with his king there, and they are actually a little bit faster than the scout cavalry, I believe. But he's going to want to bring him home. He's not going to want to lose him. I believe they both actually will regenerate when garrisoned. But running can always at least try and deny scouting with the king as much as possible. While he can always scout with his own king. What map is it? Can we see in... Not in there. Well, it's a Regicide Fortress game, sorry. Not Arena. I was thinking it hasn't got the wood to be Arena. But even still, I think the pacing is going to be pretty similar. Players going to be quite turtly here. There's safe resources inside the walls. And there isn't really a deficit of resources around their base still. I mean, on Arena, obviously you've got the extra wood line around the entirety of the map. So there's basically infinite wood if the game does go to late game, but I think these guys are still pretty ripe for wood for the meanwhile. Like, it's going to be really till they Imperial Age that they've really got to worry too much. So economically, you know, need to be pretty neck and neck, I think. Players trying to get to Castle Age. So Vinchester's is in queue. Well, I think running. Oh yeah, he's already got his as well. I mean, when you get to castle on a map like this, you can't really go for the rams, because I mean, by the time they really break into their opponent's base, it's going to be quite tough to really leverage that into anything. So I think probably just trying to park either cavalry or monks around your opponent's base and trying to get the advantage with relics while going Imperial is probably going to be the strategy. Maybe we'll see someone plonk a fast castle down on the other's doorstep. Or maybe we'll just see them both build an additional town centre or two and really just macro up for the meanwhile. You know, on Fortress, I do start with the additional barracks and, you know, the castle because it's regicide, but, you know, beyond that they don't really get like a full Empire War start as such. Well, actually, they just about do. I take that back, because I mean they do get the blacksmith, they do get the barracks. Starting, you know, feudal, I believe, with extra villages. So instantly, a pair of town centres for Vinchester. Well, it looks like running might be looking to add just a single one, but then add the stone to add another one pretty much immediately behind this. Oh, there we go. I take that back. He actually has got a second one tucked over here. So both our players way to 3 town centre. So I suppose no stone gathering just yet, but when they do, they'll be looking to actually place castles down to protect their gold mines, or even to try and lock off a gold mine from their opponent. Because I mean, really, while it might be hard for Vinchester to put a castle off this gold mine, he definitely can do it over here and over here. And I mean, running can really do the same to him if he puts a castle over here or over here, and really just deny the opponent all the outlying gold. So running is gathering quite a bit of gold at the moment. Vinchester, not at the moment, gathering a bit of stone. Being another 4 walk, so he's gonna be able to farm up around that. So Vinchester just scouting out his opponent's base. He's not really going to be able to see a lot over the walls, but at least it does sort of tell him where the, you know, the free towers that he's going to start with are. It looks like all 3 are on that. He's actually got 4 on that front side. I mean, I guess the map seeding does play a very tiny element into, you know, the outcome of the game. In terms of how your structures get placed in a mode like Fortress or Empire Wars or something like that. Well, a map like Fortress or a mode like Empire Wars. So Vinchester's still not really gathering any gold at all. Placing down another town centre though, and it is going to be on that gold outside of his base, and he can always, I guess, fall back on this one easier. Like unless, fog of war, you know, running. Running doesn't actually know about that gold mine, but if he did, I mean, I guess he could try and castle over here, but at least this way, with the town centre there, makes it much harder for him to try and castle that immediately. So running, just got a couple of scout cavs out on the map now, just checking out what his opponent's doing, trying to pinch this relic if he can. Vinchester, on the other hand, looks to just be really macroing up and trying to wall in the relics where possible. See him the first, the scout cav there. He knows where a couple of these other relics are too. Economically, Vinchester does that Vil lead, but I think the relic lead is going to go to running soon. He's already bringing back the one there. And he doesn't actually know about the relic over here in this corner. I think either player does. That's Vinchester. Oops. The Vinchester able to grab a relic himself. Full walk going down over here, and this time the villagers are ready. They're in enough number that they can sort of fight off the scout cab. Only one Vil actually goes down there. Oh, this Vil singled out though. That one scout cab. Oh, not going to take a fight. Going to check out what's going on. The running. Good of him to grab this topside relic, because it looks like Vinchester's coming to try and steal it. Or this bottom side relic. Vinchester doesn't actually know its exact location, so... These Rathers, they're like a melee chariot unit. Quite tough for the scout cav to fight against, I think. Actually, sorry, no, they're not a melee, they're a ranged. Ranged and melee, hey? Every archer slash cavalry. Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna make short work of that pair of horsemen. Really quite a passive map, this one, isn't it? Until the late game. Eco's starting to favour running now. Does also have that relic advantage by 1 at the moment, but Vinchester was taking his second one back, wasn't he? Yeah, relics. Third one. Full running. It's going to be garrisoned soon. Smart of Vinchester to try and protect that top side of his base. A good number of the Rathers being built up now. Giving running a lot of map control here. Vinchester's going to find it hard to scout. So it looks like running is going to be up 3 relics to 1. 3 relics to 2, sorry. In that mid-map castle. Back far enough that it should be safe for him to not have to worry about trebuchets from behind the walls. His Imperial Age will be on the way for both players now. Like, runnings is nearly finished and Vinchester isn't too far behind. Being picked off there. Before he can convert one of the Rathers. He's doing a bit of a runner. A couple more villagers being forced to garrison there by running. He does ultimately pick off that converted Rather. All being forced to garrison there by Vinchester. There's a big flood of knights now, so should be able to clean this up pretty easily. And meanwhile, running, trying to harass. Once again, trying to prevent this other stables go up. Deny a little bit more of this stone gathering. So it looks like running is trying to really mount some pressure, because in the center of the map now he's got that trebuchet denying access to that gold mine. Vinchester. Trebuchet of his own coming out, so he'll be able to defend this pretty soon. I think he's also going to be able to start applying a bit of pressure to running here too, because he's snuck some knights around. Those guys that had cleaned up the Ruthers are now free to apply a bit of pressure to running before this wall off finishes. But smarter running, because it's going to mean that Vinchester can't keep hitting him, and all these resources are well protected. Nice split up for the Cavaliers to try and maximise the amount of ground that they cover. Oh, multiple trebs now being used to put a few more holes in the wall. Just while running, just want to bring them any further forward for the moment. We can at least really tear down some more holes in the wall. Decided to go for it with the Cavaliers, so he might be able to get a couple of these trebuchets now. Lose the Cavaliers though. So one of the trebs makes it out. Crossbowmen coming out now. A while to bring down these early archers. Don't know what they were supposed to be effective against here. Running his force. And what Vinchester's going to have here to stop it at the moment. He's not really got any armies out on the map. Oh, a couple of the Cavs over here cleaning up that raid, but I think that might be it for Vinchester's forces there for the moment. And the Rathers and the early archers, it's a scary army here for running at the moment. Vinchester does still have some Cavs over there at the top side. This is rough. The early archers have broken through now. Some of the Cavaliers have done their job at cleaning up over here. Should come and help support all this. A pair are being picked off there. Vinchester trying to find a weak spot in Running's base, but he's going to need siege to actually get through those walls. Castle's falling. Vinchester's actually got away a lot of Cavaliers at the moment, but that's about it for the time being. He's going to be able to snipe all the trebuchets, but he's going to be able to use here going into the late game here, because Rathers is zoning a lot of his villages over here. A lot of his farm eco disrupted at the moment. Right now, running a nice population lead over his opponent. Mostly in eco though. But saying that, it's really forcing Vinchester to defend with everything he's got. And this castle not quite finished there for running, so it's nice Vinchester to prevent that from going up, but He's now going to have to work away at that and bring it down. Running just about maxed out. Vinchester down by about 50 population. They're switching to the winged hussars. And some more ranged upgrades behind this. He's got ballistics and he's got fletching on the way. But running must be just about ready to put the final nail on the coffin because he's coming forward with another trebuchet. Needs a lot of units to help back this all up. Vinchester's going to want to try and find the right opportunity to go in here against this army because he's going to lose a lot of units on the engagement. Just fighting in the choke over here. I have to wonder if he's just better off having everything fight these early archers over here on the left and then just wrap around. So crossbows going to be useful now with a couple more upgrades. Trying to chip away at the early archers in that little corridor there. So running really using Vinchester's base against him at the moment. Now some halberdiers in the mix, some nice trash to use against the trash cavalry. Town centre, so that castle attempt gonna fall. But I think running, pretty much written it off a little while ago, and it's just been a useful little staging ground for him because right now looks like he's about to tear down Vinchester's castle. Just like to slowly, surely run out of stone here. It's a scary force to try and engage into as well. The army doesn't want to get caught dancing, but is unfortunately having to. And now Vinchester committing to the charge. But GG, running takes the game.